Alright guys, welcome back to another video. You see from the title and thumbnail, what we are doing today is spraying our whole entire farm that we purchased this year to get it ready for just our food plots, man. I've been waiting to do this for so long. Can't wait to explain to you guys what we're planning, why we're planning it, where we're planning it. I mean, I got this whole entire farm laid out the way I want, but before we even can start thinking about doing any of that, we need to kill this grass. And you can tell these fields have gotten pretty overgrown, and today's goal is to do a total of 3 fields. One of them's kind of split up to 2, so I guess it's 4. You can see areas like that, not bad, but when you kind of start getting down here, I mean, if I get level with it, Joker's pretty darn tall. Now in the past, you guys have seen me do things kind of the hard way. And it's not that I choose to do it the hard way, it's just, it seems like every single year we're just kind of upgrading on our land, upgrading on things we want to do, you know, learning from our mistakes last year to make them better for the next year. If you guys don't know, about 6 months ago, I bought a brand new 2024 Honda Rancher, and hint the name Rancher, this is a workhorse, man. This four-wheeler is made to tackle, you know, everyday jobs like I'm trying to do today. So I figured, how am I gonna efficiently spray my fields with my four-wheeler? So I got to doing some research, and we have purchased this pretty badass sprayer. This right here is a 25-gallon sprayer. It's got 2 different ways you can spray. You got a 25-foot hand sprayer, so I mean, obviously you can adjust this, and I mean, it's got some damn pressure. And then the thing that I'm most excited about, which is obviously what we're gonna be using today, is the actual boom sprayer. You think that would be all, but no. It's got 2 arms that fold out, and we're going to be spraying a minimum of 12 foot. That's how much this joker reaches out. So we should be able to cover ground for what I'm doing today. I paid for it, but it's exactly what we need to use today. Now, as far as our killer, we have 5 gallons that we're gonna be using today. I don't think we're gonna use all 5 of it, but because of how tall these fields are, and we're planning on planting here in the next week in like 1 or 2 days, I definitely want to get the fastest results possible. We're gonna go a little bit heavier on our mixture. This product's purpose is pretty much when it leaves the sprayer and hits and contacts whatever you're spraying, this is kind of like an oil. It helps make it makes it stick to what you're doing, so therefore with rain, and it just makes the product a little bit more hardy to what you're laying down. So you just put a splash of this in every single tank you put in. The most important thing today is how we're gonna get water to this grass. Luckily, my property neighbor is awesome, and he allowed me to use his hose, and that just makes it very, very convenient for me, because there'll be no way in hell I'm getting water out here pretty much. So we're gonna be going back and forth from the neighbors, doing these fields, and it's more just like a time-lapse video, guys. We have a lot of ground to cover today. I'm gonna try my best to time-lapse most of it on this camera. We'll throw the drone up a little bit. I'll have my GoPro on, and pretty much this is just a very important step to have a very successful year in what we plant and for all of our hunting. So for 25 gallons, we're gonna go ahead and mix 32 ounces of our Roundup. In theory, every time we go through a tank full, the Roundup is gonna be stronger than what it was the previous time, because I'm gonna leave a little bit of water in here, because when it gets low, it starts kind of shooting and it starts losing pressure. Can't go wrong with how much you use. It's just, if you want to be efficient and save money, you want to obviously use the right percentage. Like I said, I'm trying to get all this stuff killed today. First 16 going in. And the second. Splash of our honey in. Alright, let's run across the street. Let's go ahead and grab our water, fill her up, and we're gonna start tackling the day. Alright guys, we're filled up, and boy, when I say we got some weight on the back of this thing, I mean it. Alright, pump is on. Let's go ahead and kick her in second. And let's see what this thing's got. Let her get all the air out of it. And we're spraying. Right, so we did one pass. Now I'm gonna work up this meadow strip. I don't want to kill this, but we definitely want to get as close as we can around it. Alright guys, so the first field is complete. Now let's just say this field is 1.79 acres. So for sure I have sprayed 50 gallons, almost a 2-acre field. I know that doesn't like line up at all, but the way I'm doing my line, you can see behind me how I have them staggered. I am 100% overlapping what I'm doing. That's because I want the stuff to die off. You know, just making sure that I'm doing it to where I know that it's 100% getting killed. And some of the stuff is 4 foot tall, so I'm going over it as good as I possibly can. Real farmers out there that spray efficiently, I mean, yeah, they're doing, you know, multiple acres, much more than what I'm doing, and because this stuff adds up. But for this project and for my farm, I don't really care what I spend on this. I just want to make sure that I get the grass killed off, and if we have to spray again, we'll do it again. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump to our second field. And now this field doesn't have a meadow strip, so I feel like we might get a little bit more efficient spraying in this one, because I have to do a lot of backing up, stopping the pump, turning it back on. It's a pain in the ass. Let's fill up and I'll see you guys in the second field. Let's go ahead and mix another batch, and like I said, I still have some in my tank right now, but I'm still doing a true 32. Keep in mind too, whenever I start spraying this field, one, we have a perfect circle now, so it's not like that field where it's all jagged and split up into two. But then also, I want to spray all my paths too. It's a little over 2.5 acres we're about to do. Let's see how efficient we can make this run. Cannot tell you how happy I am I was able to use this. I'd be so screwed, guys. All right, you guys are on a super wide lens. Sorry if I look small, but this is the whole area. Let's see what we can do. All right, pumps are on, we're in gear. Like I said, let's start with these paths first. I just want to kind of go through this once. All right, we almost have the whole entire farm completed. Now it is just moving on to our third field. Now the third field is a little over 3 acres, and it's obviously our biggest one. We're gonna do the same exact thing, work around the trails, and then we're gonna start working into the field, and hopefully we're gonna get it down to that very last bit. And we have completely sprayed the farm, so I'm super excited, guys. Let's go ahead and try to knock this last one out. Let's see how long it takes us to do this one. To give you guys a view, I mean, the camera can't pick up everything, but that's what we're gonna be spraying. Y'all are gonna be dead center right here in the middle. It's really humbled me this year, understanding like what a true acre is. 3 acres don't sound like a lot, but it is. Pumps on, let's rock and roll. Alright, well, to put it in perspective, I've done like 3 or 4 laps and I'm already out. So this one's gonna take a little bit. Just like that, the farm is completely sprayed. For y'all, it's about 15 minutes. For me, it's about 8 hours. You guys can see on the field right now, look at my lines. I mean, it's precise. I was overlapping perfectly. I wanted to make sure that not one, but all 3 of my fields were done the best way I possibly could. And for using the sprayer for the first time, I mean, I kind of got to learn how it's sprayed, and if I did want to, like, you know, obviously space it out a little bit further, I could. Overall today we used 2.5 gallons of Roundup. I mean, I used literally 1 whole jug. I wrote down my measurements, but pretty much 25 gallons was about 1 acre. Maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I could have spaced it out a little bit more, so don't go off of my measurements. I just, like I said, I went heavy, I went thick, and I wanted to get the job done. Now the next step is just to let this roll out for like the next week, week and a half, and we're coming right back in. We're having our equipment, real equipment, and we're planning this whole entire farm properly, and I can't wait to show you guys what we're planning, why we're planning it, and how it's going to fall into play for our hunting season this year. So guys, with that being said, I really appreciate you watching this video. It might have been a little boring, you just watched me ride around, but I wanted to film step by step what it takes to have a successful year, and like just what you got to do to try to do stuff right. So be looking forward to the next video. I appreciate you guys watching.